Hello, I'm Tina Tower, the founder of Begin Bright School Readiness and Primary Tutoring Centres, and this year's HerBusiness South by Southwest correspondent, which is really cool. I'm bouncing with a little bit of excitement because today is day one of the greatest conference in the world. I was lucky enough to come last time for the first time and now make it a habit of coming every year. I know Susie's been for 10 years and I want to match that record as well. So what happened on day one? You can't possibly get to everything. Every hour or 90 minutes there's about 20 different things running, so you always have serious FOMO, and there's been people that I've been talking to that I go, oh my gosh, I wish I'd listened to that and heard that. But the first one that I went to was a guy called Jonas Koffler. He wrote a book called Hustle about money and momentum, and of course, yes, everyone wants money and momentum. There was nothing groundbreaking in there. It was, basically the upshot of his talk on hustle was every day do something that consistently moves you closer to your end goal. Get your hustle on, do everything you can in your power. So there was nothing really groundbreaking there. It was finding opportunities, take action, complete them. So really just getting off your butt and actually making stuff happen. The best one I saw today and the most surprising was Gary Vaynerchuk. I've never really been a fan of his, but I went there purely because my friend Sel Watts is a massive super fan, and I wanted to try and get a book signed for her. So I went there, was lucky enough, I was in this huge line, finally got in, scooted to the front. There was one seat in the front row that had a reserve sign on it. So I just sat there because it was only 10 minutes till it was starting and no one kicked me out, so that was great. So I got to sit front row. Now I could talk for about half an hour about his talk, but the kind of upshots was superstar entrepreneurs. So he was talking about the whole psychology behind an entrepreneur now, and that would be made into these sort of rock star status, and how troublesome that is, that entrepreneurship's being taught in universities and everyone's feeling like they should be these entrepreneurs where they're catching private jets and having this high-flying lifestyle, and there's a lot of people that are actually killing themselves literally and slowly because they're not reaching that hype kind of thing, and that entrepreneurship is really about failing over and over again and not losing any momentum. And to be a very successful entrepreneur, you have to love failure, because as we know, for people that have been in business a long time, for every time that you succeed, there's 20 other times that you've failed, but people don't see the failures, they only see the upshots. And you know what, the failures don't really matter, because that one upshot is going to have a big enough upside to make that worthwhile. He was talking about practical things like video content, and his biggest advice was Facebook video is where everything is at the moment, and that's what we should all get on, so get on there. Be obsessed with brand. He thinks that sets us apart from everything, and it's all about the marketing. Become the voice of the market. He said too many people are too impatient starting out, launching a podcast, expecting themselves to be number one on the iTunes list straight away. He swore at somebody and told them he was going to punch them in the face because they had that expectation. He spoke about being bullied online and all the negativity that's on social media, and said you literally have to not care about it to be able to do it. It was a Q&A session, so people were asking him questions, and one lady asked how he actually handles that, because when you are going to be vocal about something and put something out there that's really opinionated in the world, there's going to be obviously people that tear that down in a negative way. So he said there's a fine line between self-esteem and delusion, and don't worry about what people are saying if they're not close to you. He then touched on saying, a lot of people have insecurities that they need to get over in order to put themselves out there and live life out loud as you should, because they're carrying around things that people have said to us, like parents and older siblings and people that we've really valued, whose kind of opinions we need to let go of in order to move on. He swore a lot, which was good. He did say this is the greatest era to be alive, which is absolutely true. He said if you don't believe it, go and talk to some 80 or 90-year-olds. And it's really our responsibility to go and tell people about the positivity, because negativity is so loud that we have to do that as well. What else is there? How we balance work and life. So he did say, obviously that's really applicable to us at HerBusiness, because a lot of us do have families as well, and we want to be conscious to that, and we're all doing the best we can, but we're trying to live up to these impossible expectations that society has put on us. So, you know, it's enough to be, don't worry about the political correctness. All that you need to worry is about your spouse and about your children and what they think and that it's right for you. And basically said, if you're an ambitious, hungry person, you need to go out there and do that and not be worried about letting the team down, because really your family is going to want you to do those things that light you up inside, because that's when they're going to get the absolute best of you. And I think that was something really valuable to hear as well. There's so many more things from Gary Vee, but I'll go on to Corey Richards. So he was a National Geographic photographer that went up the top of Everest, and his talk was absolutely amazing. Mostly about the story of how he did that, what he went through emotionally and personally, and that in the beginning it was quite a selfish pursuit in what he was doing, and then he got caught in an avalanche. And then from that point, his whole life broke down and he had to reassess everything. And there were some really good environmental points in there as well. One quote that I loved was, "As we acquire more, it takes a lot more to sustain life," and I think that's something that was really poignant for me. And then last I saw Jake Taper, who is a CNN reporter, and that was really interesting because for me, I mean, I remember where I was sitting and reading on my phone when I realised that Donald Trump won the election last year, and you know, I couldn't quite understand it, and I was trying to go to more political things so that I could have more of an understanding around that area. But this guy, you know, he just looked really depressed when he was talking, and like he didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and both the people on the stage were just kind of exasperated from the constant outrage that they've been expressing in the media every day about things they're hearing. So yeah, I still don't really understand much about politics there, but I will endeavour to learn more over the next 5 days. So that was day one, which you can see how much happens in day one. And being 5 days, you know, it's important that I take copious amounts of notes, otherwise it all just goes in one ear and out the other. So I will see you tomorrow for another Her Business wrap up.